Good afternoon, Anne.
Hello there.
First of all, Anne, I'd like to thank you for taking part for you to provide me a testimonial. What I wanted to do was just ask you some kind of your feedback in regards to, you understand that we've done some IAT therapy in the school. So just before I start off, I just wanted the viewers to know exactly, what you do in regards to Redland School, and just a bit of introduction, and just kind of give me your perspective on how you thought the therapy had been taking place with the pupils in the school. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Redland School is a primary school, and over the past few years we've become more concerned with, I suppose, the well-being of children. They are doing very well academically, but lots of our children are very troubled and have all sorts of worries that they don't really have the space to talk to somebody about. And so that's why this type of therapy really appealed to us, because it's quite intensive.
Yes.
And it certainly supports the child and gives them the space to reflect on what is troubling them.
Okay, and I thank you very much for sharing that with me. What I wanted to ask you was, what we had done was basically we saw some of the pupils and we kind of understood what was going on for them, and some therapeutic work was carried out between 6 to 14 sessions in the school. Coming away from the therapeutic side, I just wanted to see, to get an understanding of how you're seeing the actual intervention. How has it been in the sense of the progress? How are they doing?
Well, I think the most important part is that there was very rapid progress with the children, partly because they began to understand the difficulties they were having and what the triggers were, particularly for children with behavioural difficulties, and began to unpick that. But what's been interesting is that progress has been sustained. It's been slightly slower, but the children are still able to talk about the strategies that were identified while they were having the support. And I think so therefore it has had quite an ongoing effect on the children.
Great. And that's something really nice to hear, just to know that they've been able to still utilise the strategies that's been learnt. Now, we work in collaboration in regards to schools, and also just filling into the teacher's perspective to just kind of let them know exactly how things were going, and for them to just tap in, so that they get a bit of understanding just by summarising one of the things of the treatment plan. Do you think that it has been helpful in a way of having that communication, in the sense for them to be aware? So the whole aim is that
certainly, because I think these are the children that the teachers often flag up in the first place as having concerns, and they feel at a bit of a loss how to help the children, because clearly it's outside a teacher's remit of work. And so therefore it's really helpful when you will keep the teacher informed throughout what's going on, and they're able to reinforce those strategies that the children learn.
Great.
So I think that's a really big benefit of it.
Okay, which I think that's really nice to hear. One of the other issues that we worked on was working in collaboration with the parent and the child, and being able to pick up any problems if had been at home, and to bring it together to look at how we can work in best practice, to look at how we can make an achievable outcome by solving the problems, and also to look at what we can do within that environment. How have you found that, in the sense of, that CBT is always the individual, that one-to-one piece of work, but when we step in the parent and child, and having that meeting and providing that feedback, has that been helpful?
I think that's been very helpful, because although you work individually with the child lives in a context of a family, and works within the context of a class, and often it's those very different places that cause the difficulties for the children.
Yes.
And they get contrasting messages. But of course all parents want the best for their children.
Yes.
And so they're only too happy to come in and help and support the children. And often they're the parents who are somewhat, they know their child's struggling, but they just don't know how to support them. So I think those strategies certainly benefit the parents as well.
Great. Okay. When we kind of work with regards to CBT, how it all works, and one of the focus of CBT is looking at how we work with problems. Some of the areas where CBT is best fit in is issues such as, sleeping problems, bullying, trying to understand the life situation. In Redland School, I know that things has changed in such as the academic side, and we're looking at the level of the actual, the educational side of trying to be able to achieve those outcomes. Do you think the pupils from this year now will be able to grasp that change in regards to, the stats and keeping up with that level?
Well, I think it helps build children's resilience, and that's the key to it. And then they're able to deal with changes that come along, whether it be academic changes, whether it be home situation changes. So I think a lot of the children struggle to understand having to follow rules and follow, and the CBT really helps them understand and begin to look at things from other people's points of view as well, other than just their own. And that builds up that resilience, and so therefore they are able to focus on their learning in class and not sit there feeling annoyed or aggrieved.
Yes, I totally understand that. Now, one of the things I would like to just share with you is Mind Matters is a company that works with children and adults in order to look at how we can help get them to a situation where they talk about their problems, doing the same intervention, providing coping mechanisms, strategies, problem solving, and get them to be more in control. In relation to all your feedback, which has been positive in regards to how you found CBT in Redland School, do you think this kind of intervention of the CBT in the school will be beneficial?
I think it would be very beneficial, because I think it's about giving children one-to-one time and focusing on them as individuals, and I think unfortunately that doesn't happen very often. Many of our children are living in overcrowded situations at home. Life is pressured. The curriculum and school day is pressured, and to actually take that time out and give them one-to-one, I think for some children is invaluable and makes the world of difference.
So, Anne, I'd like to thank you very much for providing your time and also giving your views in relation to CBT in the educational side of things and at Redland School. What I would like to say, just coming towards the end, is, the aim for getting people to express themselves in a way and listening to other agencies that have been involved where CBT has been carried out is to also get their side of things and get their perspective of if they thought that the CBT was effective, how we work collaboratively within the school setting and also within the parent, which I think is very important. The other issue basically is look at how we can work further along to work according to the client's needs, which is if there's issues within the school or if there's issues within the family and they're in the school and this has been highlighted, these are the things that we can work towards, and the aim is to look at how we're able to help that child to be able to feel in a safe place to talk, but also it's not getting in their way of their educational system and they can still move on. Thank you.